All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our orientation live session. This is It's Showtime, or Act One in your orientation journey. Now, if you've been here before, welcome back. But if it's your first time here tonight, welcome, right? We're excited to meet you and see all of you, and kind of be the first step in your journey here to Scoffier. So I'll be one of your hosts tonight. I'm an orientation specialist here to Scoffier and fellow alumni. My name is Chef Brandon. I graduated the Baking and Pastry Arts program, and so uh, it's great to see you all here starting your own journeys. I have some guests with me helping run tonight's session. We have our amazing lead of orientation here with us, Miss Karen. So take it away, Karen. Thanks for being here tonight, hanging with us.
Sure, sure. Good evening. Good evening. We are so excited that you are here. Thank you for choosing Escapier for your educational journey. Can't wait for you guys to get started in just under 2 weeks. Can you believe it? So you guys are in for a treat, and this orientation team is the best in on the planet. So I brag on them all the time. You are in the best of hands. Please feel free to reach out to them. The two that are here tonight are both graduates of the program, so they've been where you've been and they know what you're going through. So please feel free to ask them questions, use their experience to help you, and we want you to feel empowered to be your best. Chef Tarika, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Karen. Hey, y'all. It is me, Chef Derica, once again, here to hang out with you guys and give you guys some orientation knowledge. And happy to see all of your faces, like all of the faces on camera. We have some people in chef coats, so it looks like y'all are ready to start, and that's what we love to see. And we want you to carry that energy throughout the whole program. Like Karen mentioned, Brandon and I have been in your shoes. I did the baking and pastry and I did the culinary side as well. So we definitely know the excitement that y'all are feeling, and that equates to nervousness sometimes. So please feel free to just kind of sit back and listen to what we have to tell you. But remember, you can throw the questions in the chat and then we'll have a Q&A at the end. But we're ready to get started, Chef Brandon.
All right, thanks, Chef Derica. Let me pull up what we're going to cover for tonight. Now, like I said, tonight is It's Showtime because it's your opening act to your journey here to Scoffier. How exciting is that, right? We're getting started in just a couple weeks, a little under a couple weeks actually. So this is a really important time to get ready, to get prepared, and to get inspired for your program. So tonight we're going to take it back to the beginning, where to find the portal in eCampus. I'll be doing this from my phone tonight, as a lot of us may not have access to a computer just yet. I'll give more information if you are looking to get a computer. Um, we're going to cover the Escoffier mobile apps as well. Not many of us realize that we have two mobile apps for the school available on the App Store or Google Play Store. So I'll show you what those look like and the functions of each. And then the Escoffier week. What are the expectations of Escoffier students? What should you expect each week in your program? What do you want to be committed to completing each week in your program? So Chef Jericho will walk us through that later. And let's jump right in. I'm going to join from my phone here and find the portal in eCampus. Let's see. All right, we're going to click here. Okay, and here we are. So these are the mobile apps I was referencing just moments ago. We have two Escoffier mobile apps. We have this first one listed here with the white background and black Escoffier E. This mobile app represents your eCampus. Now the eCampus is where you find your classes, where you find your live sessions, assignments, research materials like your digital recipe books, things like that. We're going to be exploring more of the eCampus in your class pages next Friday when we start our virtual campus tours. So if you have more questions about what does my class page look like, where do I find my digital recipe books, we'll be covering that later on. This is just an introduction for tonight. The second app listed here, however, is the My Escoffier app. This represents your student portal, and it's your one-stop shop for all things Escoffier. You can find the eCampus on here as well. And you can find financial aid on here. You can find student services, tutoring, career services. Every department you'd need is on here, as well as your own curriculum and e-campus, okay? And then I have a few bonus apps here too. Zoom is great to have on your phone. It's really convenient to just tap a link and listen in to your sessions. I have Google Chrome here as well. If you have that kind of browser on your laptop or desktop computer, you can put it on your phone and have a synchronized experience on each device, right? It'll save your bookmarks and passwords and make navigating online a little bit easier. Okay, and then lastly, Google Docs. This is something to just keep in mind. You can put it on the shelf for now, but Google Docs is the platform we use for any kind of written assignments here. So everyone's going to encounter a written assignment at some point in the program, if not initially. And if you're ever going to type out one of those assignments, you'll want to on your phone, you want to use the Google Docs app. So just keep that in mind for now. Have it installed. That way, when the time comes, you're a little bit more prepared. Now, if you're starting your pastry associates program, you'll be using Google Docs from week 1, as you guys will start with 2 classes at the same time. It's just a little note in there for our pastry associate students. All right, let's go into the Black Escoffier app and check everything out. There's a grid with all sorts of resources and information, as you can see. I encourage you to get into these apps yourselves and click on everything, right? You're not going to break anything in the app. Click on everything, get familiar with all the different icons and sections here so you can develop those navigation skills. As you can see, there's student services, there's financial aid. Let's click here for a moment. Financial aid is one of your first steps, of course. You want to get that process started if you haven't already, like, filling out your FAFSA, getting that started so we can get you your results and figure out a way to get you packaged and your financial plan finalized, right? So they actually have steps here within the financial aid section that are really convenient. It shows you what to do first, what to do next. And if you'd like a FAFSA Zoom walkthrough, we have group workshops for those that the financial aid team hosts every day at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time and 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can register for a session by clicking this link and listening into those Zoom meetings. They're really helpful. They walk through the FAFSA process, and it's just a great place and a great visual if you're looking for some, somewhere to start and some additional, well, how does this work? That's a great place to look. Okay. You can also make one-on-one appointments. You can book calls with financial aid advisors with this link here. Please note they do book up pretty quickly. So if you anticipate help, you can take a look and book that sooner rather than later. But of course, those workshops are probably the best place to start, as a lot of your questions may be answered in those workshops, just from their demonstration. And that's good to know. So for tonight, if you have specific financial questions or if you need an update on your FAFSA or anything like that, please contact the financial aid department. The orientation team here, we won't be able to answer those specific financial questions. This department, the financial aid team, is also who you want to contact if you'd like to order a Chromebook computer. So let's say you have a phone for now and you're needing you would like a laptop or you'd like a computer. We have a Chromebook program here at Escoffier. You can contact financial aid and say you're interested in ordering a Chromebook. It's only a $25 deposit, and so you'll pay that up front, and they will ship out your Chromebook once your financial aid plan is finalized, you're fully packaged, and everything is ready to go. Okay, and then they ship it out. So keep that in mind. You might not get it right away, maybe a few weeks into class before it gets to you, just depending on how your financial aid process goes. It's different for each student sometimes. Okay, and let's go back and check out the eCampus. eCampus is where your classes are listed. Let's check it out here. You can tap the word here in blue letters and open the link. I'm on an iPhone, so I'm going to tap and hold down the word here and then open the link that way. Just a difference in devices. I know some of us are on iPhones and Androids, so it looks different for each. Okay, once you're on the eCampus homepage, you'll see a list of your courses. Now, we haven't started courses yet, right? We're still in the enrollment process. We're still in orientation. So on yours, you might only see the orientation card here, which is a picture of our students at graduation. And you'll see the label here too, orientation, OR 120, your program, and then student orientation. So click on the picture and it'll take you through to the page. I'm in the culinary page today, but if you're in pastry, plant-based, holistic nutrition, food entrepreneurship, the layout of these orientation pages are identical and you have the same 3 steps to complete. So you can use the same navigation tips I'm showing you tonight and find the same content. So it's important to scroll down, click on all sorts of these different icons and links here. The quick links section has a sheet here for frequently asked questions. There's a link here to contact us. If you need to get in touch with an orientation specialist, you can contact us there. You can actually set up free one-on-one Zoom meetings with an orientation specialist to get a walkthrough of orientation, to have if you have some questions about orientation or the program, we can help you with that or connect you to the right person, right? So you can book that session here. We have availability throughout the week, so pick a time and date that works best for you, and let's meet. Okay. A little bit lower, you'll see a forum. Now, this is the orientation specialist announcements and Q&A section. And this is a link. So when you click it, it takes you to an online forum where you can chat with your classmates. Now, this is really helpful because in an online setting, it can be kind of isolating, right? You're not face to face with your classmates in a kitchen, cooking your lab assignments. So this is a great place to find those like-minded individuals and find people who are just as passionate about the arts as you are and start building those friendships and community and relationships. Okay, so um, we see Chef Dorica's made a few posts in here. Go in there and share your culinary tips after tonight's session. So if we go here, you just tap on the forum. So what would be a kitchen or study tip you'd like to share with us and your fellow classmates? Let us know, just click reply here. Let us know your kitchen or study tip and get that conversation going. And then check back to see if any of your classmates reply too. They usually have some great tips and tricks. And I'll go in there and look at those tips and tricks because you guys have some great ideas. So I like connecting with you guys in there too. Um, for orientation, if you move towards the bottom of the page, you'll see these 4 tiles here. There's a live sessions tile where you can join our sessions and watch the recorded sessions if you ever miss one. And then we have the 3 steps here. So to complete your orientation and become orientation complete and get that certificate for orientation completion, you want to complete these 3 steps. Step 1 is previewing your course info. There's 2 links once you open the tile. There's a link to a lesson that you'll read. Once you read that lesson, you'll come back and click the link to complete the quiz. It's only 5 questions, but it's great practice to get familiar with the kind of technology and the way quizzes are structured for your program later on. So it's a fun activity. Step 2 is selecting your Escoffier jacket. Now, some of us have already done this because I saw in the gallery we already wearing those coats, so that is awesome and great habits for success there. You're going to click here to start, and it will pull up a sizing chart. Um, this gives you the size of the chef coats so you can take accurate measurements. Now, I want you to at least be able to close the jacket, right? If the sleeves end up being a little bit longer, that's okay. You're going to be cuffing the sleeves or rolling them up anyway. So, take accurate measurements so the jacket can close. Um, uh, if once you select your size, that will place the order. So you just select it down here. And a note about the chef coats or these Escoffier jackets. They will be shipped out first. So you'll get your Escoffier jacket sooner, and then a second shipment will come in later with your toolkit and the rest of the uniform. Okay, that includes your skull cap and your apron. So again, the jacket will come in first. It takes 2 to 5 business days to ship, and then it's on ground shipping. So They typically email you a tracking number with shipping or from the shipping department, so you can track your package and when it's coming in. And then your toolkit comes in much later. You can expect that within week 1 or 2 of your classes. You don't need the toolkit or the uniform really to get started in class. So that's why it comes a little bit later. So don't worry if it doesn't come in right away or as class starts. You actually don't need it to get started with your assignments and your work in class. So um, again, just 2 different shipments. Chef coat first, toolkit later once classes start. Okay. And then lastly, one more note about the chef coat. If you end up ordering the wrong size or need to exchange it somehow, we don't offer exchanges. So you can reorder a coat from student accounts. It's a $30 restocking fee. So I don't want you guys to have to pay the restocking fee. Just take accurate measurements the first time and select the right coat. Lastly is practice submitting. So when you open this tile, it gives you some instructions. You just need 2 pictures of any kind of food. It can be something you've made, something from a store or restaurant, even ingredients from your pantry or fridge. No cooking required necessarily, right? We just want you to get comfortable with the tech skills. You're going to be uploading pictures each week for your assignments. So we want you to practice this now. So when week 1 of class comes around, you already know how to upload your pictures and you're comfortable with the process. So once we click here, we can click on Add Submission. And this will allow us to open pictures. It refreshes your page. And when I scroll back down, I'm going to find a blue cloud with a white arrow inside. Now I have some pictures in here already. Let me go ahead and delete those. Oops. There we go. All right, and we're going to add 2 new pictures in here. So to upload your pictures, just click the blue cloud. You can also click Browse from Device and go to your photo library. Now, if you're on an Android device, there will be different options that come up for you, okay? You'll see camera, but you'll want to click on Media Picker. So Android users, instead of photo library, go to Media Picker, and that will pull up your pictures. Okay, so the coffee cake looks good today. Let's go ahead and tap those 2 pictures. Once your pictures are selected, click Add, and those pictures will upload. You'll see the green squares there. All right, once those 2 pictures upload, you can submit that, and that completes your step 3 in orientation, those 2 pictures. Now, you're not limited to just 2 pictures. If you want to practice this skill and really refine it as classes start in just a couple weeks, add more pictures in there. Send us something different. Maybe you cook something for Super Bowl and want to snap a couple pictures of that and send it to us to show us your Super Bowl spread. Like, I'd love to see it. I know the other specialists on here would love to see that too. So feel free to add more pictures in and get some extra practice. It doesn't hurt. Okay. Then once you're done, click submit and that will turn in your work. Now, all these steps are designed to get you ready for classes, to get you exposed to the technology you're going to use each week in class, and to kind of help you give an idea of what to expect in class. Now, to give us a better idea and an overview of what to expect in classes, Chef Dorica is going to walk us through the Escoffier week, what to expect each week in class. Lots of great info. So I'm going to pull up a slide for you, Chef, and pass it on over whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Chef Brandon. We have been drooling over your baked goods and also over the chat because everyone is making some great things between now and the Super Bowl. But with that being said, we will go ahead and go over the Escoffier week. So, a few things to kind of keep in mind for everybody for the Escoffier week. So, your week will start on a Wednesday, but it will end on a Tuesday, that following Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's a great thing that Chef Brandon launched that poll earlier so that way you can get familiar of what your time zone is and you can make sure you're submitting everything on time. And that's all of your assignments, and we'll go over what that entails. Next, you will need a working kitchen. This includes a stove, an oven, or cooktop range, whatever you may have. Even if you don't have an actual cooktop range, but you have the oven, even like a hot plate or something like that will do. But these are things that you will need to be successful here at Escoffier. So just know that you are cooking week to week. There's no break in between. Really, you don't stop cooking until you get to your externship, and then you'll be cooking in a restaurant, which is amazing. But we want you to know that you'll need these things to be successful here at Escoffier. And if you don't have access to these things now, you may want to start procuring the access to those by way of family members, friends, church organizations, anything or any place you can to be successful here. And then that brings me to my next point. You will be in charge of supplying your kitchen with all of the ingredients you'll need to cook every week here at Escoffier. So week one, y'all will be starting off pretty basic in all courses with knife skills. We do not create ingredients or recipes rather that will break the bank as y'all go throughout Escoffier. And it will reiterate this in the campus tour, but you will be reusing and revitalizing a lot of those ingredients. So you will see it'll cost out pretty well, but we just want you to keep in mind, especially with classes starting in less than 2 weeks, maybe put, a couple dollars to the side. And then once campus tour come around, you could take a little more stock of that to see how much you'll need to start for those first couple of weeks. But I promise you, it's nothing to break the bank. We won't ask you to make a five. I mean, some of y'all are already making some great things, but we won't ask you to make a 5-course meal. So, with that being said, your Escoffier week online will look like, or it will start with your interactive lessons. So, your interactive lessons will have all of your research material for the week. It has your textbook, and like in the name, it's interactive. So, there's audio lessons that you can listen to within that lesson. There's little cue cards you can click on, flip over, like little mini quizzes that are in there as well, just to get you engaged and get you to retain that knowledge, because you're going to need that for your discussion questions and for your quizzes as well. So keep that in mind. We want you to start with your interactive lessons. Again, since that class opens up on a Wednesday, we want this to be the first thing that you do. And the reading is pretty light. I would say you need to block out maybe 2 hours of your time, depending. And if you're scrolling on Instagram and good old TikTok, you have time to do your interactive lessons. So next we have our live sessions in study halls. These are every Thursday. Now the time is going to be very specific to which class you're in and which instructor you have. And because you change classes every 6 to maybe every 12 weeks, it will change, but it will also be on every Thursday. We just kind of want you to keep that in mind as far as your study halls as well. Now your study halls can vary from Thursday to Friday, and the time will vary too. But the great thing is these are recorded. So if you cannot make it whatsoever, just know that they are recorded. But when you go to watch the recording, you have to watch it from start to finish, no interruptions, and you have to click that button to say that you're done, and that will post attendance for you. And we'll go over that in just a second. But just know you can't pause for long periods of time. You can't say, oh, I'll watch 10 minutes here and I'll watch 10 minutes tomorrow. Y'all know about them algorithms. It's gonna mess up the algorithm. So make sure you set aside that time, 40 minutes to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, give or take, and block out that time to watch these live sessions or recordings, because that's gonna have a host of knowledge coming from your chef. And that's a really great thing because they know the lessons, they've already been in the industry, so they're adding on to what you're going to learn for that interactive lesson. Next, you'll have your graded assignments. So we are getting into the nitty-gritty of your Escoffier week. So you have your lab assignments, you have your quizzes, and you have your discussion forums. All of these need to be completed within that week from Wednesday to Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. All three of these need to be completed. The quizzes, the question range may vary from class to class, but you get 3 tries to complete that quiz and get the grade that you want. Now, I am an overachiever. I'm actually in school now and I got my first 90 and I'm not happy about it. So if everyone can just be like that and just, take that quiz 3 times. If you get a 24, go for that 25. If you get a 19, go for 25 again, but keep taking it because the best thing you're going to do is retain that knowledge for yourself. That's the only, there's no downside here for to retaking it 3 times. And even if you get a 25 out of 25, if you just kind of want to go through, maybe y'all have I'm not sure, but maybe you will have a final exam. Again, I'm not sure. I don't want to scare y'all, but you'll have that knowledge with you. All of this is open book, open notes. So you can take that with you and take your quizzes and be successful in that. Lastly, we have your discussion questions. And I said lastly, but I didn't go over the lab assignments. I'm sorry. So your discussion forums as well. Your chef instructor will give you a prompt. You'll hit reply to your chef instructor. We need at least 3 to 5 sentences per question. And then once you're done with that, you'll reply to 2 of your peers. Now, keep in mind, this is something we'll go over during the campus tours. Those questions, after you hit reply, you may have to wait a little bit, refresh your page, and then you'll see your peers' replies. But we'll get to that in the campus tour in about a week or so. And then lastly, we have your lab assignments. Now, this is the fun part. I don't know about you guys. Quizzes are nice, discussion forums are nice, but the lab assignments, this is where you get to cook and get to show off that knowledge that you learned week to week. Again, this is due at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time on a Tuesday, along with everything else. So we encourage you to spread out your Escoffier week, and we encourage you to, we have something we say here, be Sunday submitters. Whatever that looks like to you, that can be all 3 assignments, that can be 2 out of the 3 assignments, but you don't want to find yourself submitting all 3 assignments on a Monday or a Tuesday if you don't have to. At least the quizzes and discussions can easily be done before the weekend, and then the lab assignments can be saved for the weekend, and you can have a smooth sailing process here at Escoffier until you hit your externship. And lastly, we have posting attendance. So how do we post attendance at an online culinary school? Well, that's a great question. We post attendance by attending our live sessions, attending our study halls, watching those recordings, and doing all of your graded lab assignments. Those are all ways to post attendance. And like we said, you want to go ahead and spread out that Escoffier week because this will get you to post attendance every other day, every 3 days. We don't want you to get to a point where you're just posting attendance. It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks. We don't want you to get to that point because, that's not a way to set yourself up for success here. So stay interactive in your classes and everything will run smoothly. All right, next we have a list of number emails and departments that are here to support you. This is probably the reason why I ended up coming back to Escoffier because I felt so supported here. I did my first program overseas and I started my second program halfway overseas, and then I was in the middle of a move. And I could tell you all 5 of these departments helped me along the way. And we want y'all to feel the same thing we felt when we were here, and we want you to feel supported at every step of the way. We are not superhuman, but we also do what we can to make it feel like we are. So if y'all want to take a screenshot of this, write down the numbers, write down the email addresses, or reach out to us. We'll be happy to give you these numbers and give you these emails. Even if it's 5, 6 months from the line and you remember, oh, I talked to Chef Brandon or I talked to Dorica. Please reach out to us. And if it's not us you need to talk to, but it's a number you need to get, we'll get it for you. So that way you can feel supported as well. And that brings me to my next slide. If y'all need us at any point, any step of the way, we have been where you are. Y'all are less than 2 weeks out, and that is amazing. If y'all need us for whatever reason, we have 2 other amazing orientation specialists who are not here tonight, but they've also been through the program program, and they would love to help you along with myself and Chef Brandon. Email us at orientation@escoffier.edu. And we will do everything we can to make this process as easy as possible. And if we don't know the answer, our amazing lead, Karen, always has the best answers for us. So please reach out. If we don't know, we're humble enough to let you know. We'll find the answer and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right. Thank you, Chef Brandon. Passing it back to you.
All right. Well, congratulations, everyone. This concludes Act 1 of orientation. Now, stay tuned because Act 2 is coming up. Next week, our first Act 2 session will be Friday, February 14th at 11 a.m. Don't worry, we will send out reminders because a lot can happen in a week, right? But thank you all for joining us for tonight. We had a great overview of what to expect in the courses. Have a great rest of your night and weekend. We will see you next time at our virtual campus tours. We're going to hang
Come
around and
celebrate
actually
Valentine's Day with us. That's what you can do on the
celebrate.
14th. That's right.
There
Come
we
celebrate
go.
Valentine's with us.
Yeah. Well, before we go, though, we got to put the survey there in the
That's
chat.
right.
I almost forgot. All right, let's
We'll
put this
do
here.
we'll do the little heart thing, for
Yeah.
Valentine's. We'll all do our little heart thing.
All right. So before you guys head out, I put a link to a survey there in the chat. It's anonymous feedback. So let us know how tonight's session was, what you liked, what we could improve, what you want to see more of. We love taking that feedback and crafting these sessions according to your needs and what you guys want to see, right? So thank you for participating. I'm seeing like I don't think my Valentine would appreciate that. That's hilarious. All right.
It's
Well,
okay.
yes.
Check the orientation site. There are multiple different sessions for the campus tours. So if you can't make it on Valentine's, join us on another night.
Oh yeah, we have Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, we have
Wednesday,
lots
no,
of
Friday. Yes.
we have lots of dates available. We'll show you we'll send out text reminders and show you a schedule of everything. All right. And like Miss Karen said, the orientation page has the schedule on there too. All right. We're gonna stick around for some questions. If you have to leave, you're more than welcome to do so. You're not obligated to stay. We just kind of hang out for 10 minutes or so to answer any questions if needed. So have a great night. If you're heading out already, we will see you next time. And if you're staying for questions, um, we'll be switching over to that soon.
You
All right.
guys are great. You really are. This has been a fun night. Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Everyone's awesome. Okay. So the way questions work, and Marissa already did it, there's a react button at the bottom of the Zoom meeting. You click react and then raise hand. That puts you at the top of my screen so I know you have a question. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. I'll call on you and then well, virtually raise your hand and then I'll call on you and we can answer the question. So let me go ahead and click here. All right. Hi Marissa. Thanks for joining us. What's
Hey,
your question today?
can you all hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I was asking, my oven is out on the stove right now, and it's taking maintenance a while to come take a look at it. So I was wondering, would a multi-fryer, like extra large, air fryer be okay that bakes, that broils, um, and do a couple of different things? Would that be okay for the time being?
Possibly. The best thing to do would be to, oh, one second. The best thing to do would be to when the time comes, contact your chef instructor. What program are you looking to start?
Culinary arts.
Culinary arts, I think like week 4 is when you start needing an oven because you're gonna be roasting a carcass to make some stock. So
Yes.
when that time comes, just let your chef instructor know. I've seen them, give you tips on how to use an air fryer or like a large thing like that as a replacement. So yeah, they might have some great ideas on what to do if your oven's not up and running by then.
Okay, then. Thank you much. Have a good day, Chef.
All right, thanks. Next we see I see Jimmy. Jimmy, I see you're next in line. What's your question? Jimmy, let's see.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can.
can.
All right, the orientation on February 14th. Is that gonna be Act 1 or Act 2?
February 14th will be Act 2. That's our first Act 2 session. It'll be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, but we're going to have more sessions we have one on Saturday, the 15th, Monday, Tuesday. We have two on Tuesday. So there'll be lots of times available.
And y'all gonna send me a text or email or something to remind me because I might
Yes.
forget.
We'll be texting everyone, sending those reminders out each session.
All right, that's all I had. Good night, everybody.
All right, have a great night. All right, next, is it Peter? I know it says P. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question. Okay. Maybe some difficulty with the mute button. Okay. Well, we'll take the next question. If you're able to unmute, just come off mute and jump in, okay? Next I see Toya.
Hi, Chef.
Hi.
I was wondering if you can have your coat altered. Can you have it altered to fit?
Absolutely. Yes, yes. If you want to get alterations, you can.
Okay. Thanks, Chef. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks for your question. Next I see Khadija. Hi, Khadija. Feel free to ask your question.
Or can you shit. Sorry. Excuse my language. Hi guys.
Okay.
I just had a question. So I heard like the whole cooking stuff and like that. Since I'm taking culinary, I am a Muslim, so there are some things that I cannot work with at all. Is there any substitutes available for that, or am I just gonna have to sit out and get a 0?
No, absolutely. You can make ingredient substitutions and they're very accommodating. So if there's ever an ingredient that you can't work with, they usually offer substitutes. So like let's say one week they call for pork, you can say, "Oh, I can't use that." They'll give you options to still get the grade and still practice the technique. So yeah, you'll notice the chefs are very technique focused, so they'll approve substitutions as you ask, so you can still get the grade. Yeah, it's not a problem. They'll just let them know and they work with you.
All right, thank you so much.
Just as an extra tip on that, be sure to reach out to your instructor before you make a substitution, because you want to make sure and get their approval for that substitution before you do it. You don't want to go through your whole assignment and then they say that's not, we can't use that as a substitution. So reach out to them before and let them know what your issue may be.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next I see 420. That's the username, so I'll just call it like I see it. Feel free to ask your question.
Yeah, I was just wanting to know when it comes down to the toolkit, like, is it a requirement that we have to use what we get in that toolkit, or can we use like our own knives and utensils? Because I do have like a few like Dowel Strong knives, and I plan on getting more. I want to get like hexaclad pans and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can use your own equipment and tools that you prefer.
All right, cool. And then I was wanting to know also, are there like classes that we could do like actually like in class, like if there was like necessary, like I live in Kokomo, Indiana, so if there was like a school in Indianapolis or maybe not too far from there, like would you guys do
It ain't going
like
through.
in class lessons, or is it all going to just be online?
Yeah, currently our online programs are all online. We don't offer any hybrid options at this moment. So the only in-person activity will be at the end of your program for the externship portion of the program where you actually have to earn work hours in a commercial kitchen setting of some kind.
Okay, that makes sense. And now whenever it comes to like a Scoffier, is it only strictly just like regular culinary and like baking and pastry, or do you guys do like options for, like I said to her, which is like, barista or like bartender or like any like other like branches of culinary in general?
I'm not currently aware of any of those of tracks like a barista course or mixology or bartending just yet. Currently we have the culinary pastry, plant-based, holistic nutrition, and food entrepreneurship. But yeah, stay tuned though. Follow us on social media and like after you graduate, stay in that alumni association. We might put out some other courses later on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's pretty much all I was. Well, yeah, wait. Do you guys do like what's it called? Oh, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Where it's like you kind of like mix like science with like culinary. What is that word?
Gastronomy or
Yes, molecular
molecular
gastronomy.
gastronomy?
Yes.
That's a great question. I'd have to review some of the curriculum. They may touch on it on some of the courses. I know in my pastry course we had a little bit of molecular gastronomy. That if you're more interested in those types of subjects, talk about your chef instructor with that, and they can always give you more resources or even like talk to you one-on-one about those things too. They like nerding out about stuff, so
Yeah.
bring your questions to them and it's great. If you have questions about, sometimes they have great book recommendations or good resources or know someone who knows a lot about molecular gastronomy that they can point you towards. So, yeah, if there's ever something that's not really in the curriculum, you can always ask your chef and they can instruct you from there.
Cool. That's probably what I want to do. Like I said, I'm completely infatuated with culinary. Like there's not like one part of it that I don't like. So it's like I want to learn like every aspect that I can physically of just culinary in general. So I do greatly appreciate it.
All right, awesome. That's exciting. Well, us and great night. All right, next I see Brianna. Hi, Brianna. Feel free to unmute and ask your
Hi.
question.
Sorry, my 4-year-old's being clingy.
Uh,
I was just wondering if there's going to be like a list of pans and stuff that we'd need, like the sizes eventually.
yes.
Like,
Yeah. There's on February 15th, it's a Saturday, log into your eCampus, you'll find the new class page there. And then there's going to be a digital recipe book in there that has an equipment list and then an ingredient shopping list as well. So it'll give you the recommended pans and pan sizes then. So you'll take a look at it. Now again, that equipment list is a recommended guide and some things are very
okay.
optional or sometimes the size doesn't really matter in a certain situation. So, if anything, week by week, talk about it with your instructor and see what options are available if you don't happen to have that specific equipment.
Okay, thank you. Now I
All
just gotta find my face.
right. Yeah, it's a gallery of a lot of us. So, all right. Next, I see Jerome or Jeremy. Sorry, please correct my pronunciation. I'm going with Jerome though, but
Oh, you are right. It's Jerome.
okay.
I had a similar question to Khadijah's. I'm type 2 diabetic, so like I can't use sugar. Like so, um, like is there a valid substitution I would have to use, or could I use anything?
Yeah, substitutions can be made. Depending on what you're using the sugar for. Are you in the culinary program or?
Yeah, I'm in the culinary operations.
Okay, so that's not going to be as big of a challenge as the pastry program would be. So, yeah, you can definitely make substitutions. Just again, let your chef instructor know, hey, how can I make this sugar-free, or what can I use in place of this? And they'll give you some options and some substitutions. That way, when they're looking through your submission, they know what to expect. That it might look a little different or whatever. So, yeah, again, the chef instructor will be helpful there because depending on the recipe and the formula, the substitution might change.
By the way, I've been sitting here silently reading the chat the whole time. Man, I ate before doing this, and I'm hungry again.
Yeah. Oh my
All the
gosh.
good food
So
everyone's
true.
making for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so true. Great, great.
All
Um,
right, well, that was all I had. Good night, guys.
Well, I was
all
gonna
right,
say
good night.
stevia is a good
Well,
alternative for sugar as well because it don't really contain sugar like that. So you could always use stevia.
See, I've tried stevia, and I'm not really a big fan. I like Splenda a little bit more.
Yeah, see, some of them do have bad tastes. That's the one thing you can't get away from, which sucks. But yeah, I would say experiment with it as long as it don't like necessarily change the outcome of like, the chemical makeup of like baking. You have to have certain things for it to like rise and stuff like that. I think you should be fine.
Always make sure you talk to your instructor before changing any of the ingredients in what you're cooking for your class recipe. And also keep in mind that you can also have taste testers. You don't have to actually do the tasting and the eating of
Oh,
it yourself.
gotcha.
So,
Okay.
you're working on the
So
technique
I
and how to actually cook it and how to, cut things up and stuff like this. So, as you get further on in the program, you will need to be able to describe tastes and things, but
so
you
I
could
could
always
use
use
my
someone else.
coworkers as guinea pigs.
There you
Yes.
go. And they may
Yeah,
really appreciate that.
All right,
for
guys.
sure.
Thank you for the monk fruit suggestion. I've never tried monk fruit before.
Oh yeah, that's also a great one. Okay. All right. Well, we got time for a couple more. Next in line, it's just a username. It says Kusea SN339D. So, if you have a question, let us know. All right. Let's see. That mute button, it gets us. Okay. So, if you end up being
Hello.
able to, oh, there we
Yep.
go. Just in
Okay,
time.
yeah, I had to find the mute button. Okay, how you doing, Chef? I
Doing
was
well.
wondering. I'm wondering, like, cause my my Boro top rack, it doesn't work, and I let the office know already. So I don't know if when they're gonna come, the maintenance person gonna come fix it. So I don't know if that'd be a problem or anything, but I can still bake in my oven. I just can't, you know, use the Boro part. Boro part.
Let's see. I don't anticipate that being an issue. I'm not, I know in some parts of the program, you make creme brulee, which some people will broil it or some people use a torch. So there,
Okay.
in instances where there is a broil, there might be other options. So it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, and then I have another thing. I don't eat pork, so can like be able to substitute something?
Absolutely. So, like for example, there's a week in culinary where you're learning the sautéing technique, right? So you say like, okay, your choice of protein. You can use chicken, you can use pork, you can use this. So like they'll often give you options. So yeah, there's no reason to, have to use pork if you don't use it. They always give you options. If there's
Okay.
something that calls for it, and you don't see an option, just let the chef
Mm,
know, like, hey, can I use something other than pork? I don't use it. And yeah, they'll
okay.
they'll they'll
Okay.
instruct you from there.
Okay, thank you. But that's all I wanted for tonight. The questions. Good night, you
All right.
all.
Good
Have a nice
night.
day.
Good
Night.
night.
All
All right,
right.
we'll take one more question because of time. Santos, I see you're next. What's your question?
Okay, so I'm gonna do schooling from the place that I work. How often are we gonna be cooking? Because I'm also a cook at the place I work at.
Yeah, you'll have one lab assignment per week so that lab assignment might have multiple components. Maybe it's like a protein and then a sauce and a side. But yeah, it's usually just one lab assignment per week. So which varies depending on in time to make it, depending on what it is.
Okay, and then the second part was that I work from 2 to 10, and then the classes, would they be in that time so that way I could cook while I'm at work? Because I do Monday through Friday.
So like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah, so it'd be mountain time.
Okay. Yeah, classes may fall within your work hours. So they do record all those sessions so you can watch them back later once you're off work. So yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. They record the sessions and you still get attendance credit by watching the recordings.
Okay, thank you. You guys have a good night. Hope to see you guys soon. I'm glad to be a part
Yes.
of the Escoffier community.
We're glad you're here,
Yes,
Santos.
glad you're here. Awesome. Well, with that, have a great night, everyone. We got to head out. Remember, email us orientation@escoffier.edu, and we're more than happy to reply and answer your questions there too. All right, have a good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.